Welcome to Strangest Species, Season 2, Episode 29. I'm your host, Mike Davis, here with your co-host, Ethne Davis.
Howdy ho.
And I have forgotten how to do this, I feel like.
Just after 2 weeks.
Has it only been 2 weeks?
I mean...
Well, good then. Just kidding.
Yeah, I think just 2 weeks. Because for Christmas and for the New Year's week, the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's.
I guess that's true. Never mind. I feel like a pro again. Right now.
Right this minute.
Yeah. Well, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday and New Year and Christmas. And what did you do for Christmas, Ethne?
I mean, maybe the same thing as you?
Yeah, I feel like I saw you.
I don't know. I could be mistaken.
I saw a girl that looked like you.
Yeah, I think that was you.
But you actually weren't in the same room as me, so...
So then you were like, oh, maybe
that wasn't her. Yeah.
Maybe that's not her. Oh my god.
So we actually ended up going on our cruise that we never did.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
We made it.
The
kids were surprised. We didn't tell them anything, just in case the day before you leave, you have to have an emergency eye surgery or COVID shuts you down.
Right. And I did have slight medical complications,
yes.
But I was like, all right, I don't care. I'm going.
Yeah.
And we survived.
Yeah, you did really well with that. So
thank you.
Except for the last night.
Well, that had nothing to do with that.
No.
The last night I threw up like crazy.
I think
You're
got
100%
seasick.
right. Yeah. So it was by far our roughest night. And it was our last night and I had eaten a lot of food.
Well, and I also think you had kind of got complacent with your patches.
I wasn't wearing one, so
right.
Yes.
And I think because the way down it was kind of calm and you didn't have near as much trouble.
Yeah.
You were just kind of maybe forgot about it. And I think you totally just let yourself get seasick and you were just, I didn't know he was vomiting all night till the morning.
Well, we weren't in the same room.
Then he was so, like what I mean by hungover is, you know how.
I was so tired.
Right. Vomiting is exhausting for a body. Like exhausting. And then an adult body on top of it that doesn't vomit very often. Like kids seem to vomit.
I got no ab muscles apparently.
All the time. You were so just drained for like 2 days almost. It was a rough travel home.
But it definitely wasn't sick.
No, it wasn't. No.
Like I had eaten enough food for like 4 people in 4 days in one night. And because it was like all this awesome food. And it's like, this is the last chance we get to eat it. I'll have a plate of fries and ice cream and whatever that is and some more ice cream. And like it was nuts. And then in the middle of the night, I just woke up and I didn't even feel like I was going to throw up. I just didn't feel like you don't eat just way too much food. Like if you eat way too much food and then like you go, I have to walk or something like that feeling.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it was. Only I wasn't walking. I was just moving all over in my bed in the boat.
It was very choppy.
And so I went and I was like, I'm just so uncomfortable. It was like 2 a.m. And so we had 2 different bedrooms because we have 4 children and we booked it kind of late and there weren't any rooms left that were big enough. So I had 2 kids. Ethne had 2 kids.
But we were next
to each other. But we didn't have adjoining rooms.
No.
I had an adjoining room with some other couple.
Was that an adventure?
Yeah.
Did you get to go hang out with them?
No, not really. Actually, I don't think I ever saw them except for like once on the first day.
I think we talked to them on the last day.
I did not. But, and so, yeah, I didn't feel good, but I didn't feel nauseous or like your typical sick. So like, I'm just going to go in the shower. And then I ended up throwing up. Like I moved, it was funny. Like I moved like to the right, kind of like leaned over to the right and put my head on the wall. And I was like, oh, that's really bad. I don't know if it was like pinching my stomach a certain way. But it was also like, this is going to make me throw up and I'm going to feel good. So I just stayed like that. And then like 10 seconds later, I threw up like 5 times.
Gross.
Yeah. And then I felt great. Well, not great. I was exhausted and I still didn't like sleep really. But I didn't feel any more nauseous.
No, but I think that being hungover from being so tired from throwing up is what really got you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I felt bad. We got home and some friends of ours invited us over to like a party. And I felt like we needed to at least go and make an appearance. But I shouldn't have. I mean, I was...
Oh, you were so out of it.
Like, we got home. They lived next door to us. So we walked home. I was like, good night. And I walked upstairs and went to bed.
Yeah.
Like, my parents were here. Didn't just see them. Didn't hang out with them.
Nope.
Ethne stayed up with them. Like,
Because I was feeling okay. I mean, like the travel day was fine, but I was feeling, whatever, kind of just fine. And so I was like, okay.
I literally walked in and went straight
up to
upstairs
bed.
and didn't stop and collect 200, nothing.
Nothing. Nope.
So, but it was really fun. I mean, both Ethne and I have decided we're probably not cruisers.
No, I really don't think we are. I think a bigger group could be a fun option.
Yeah.
But I feel a little uneasy and I get a little stir crazy, truthfully.
I get definitely stir crazy. And there's just something, I'm just tired all the time. I think the constant rocking of the boat.
Yeah. There's like
just
this
literally,
weird.
You're saying that it's kind of this mini days all the time.
Or maybe it's the seasick medicine that gives you the mini days.
Oh, maybe.
Right? Like, I couldn't figure it out. Anyway.
It's not like being on Benadryl.
No, it's not the same.
But it's like a tenth of that.
But almost like a dull kind of, like you said, haze or maybe a headache, but very dull. And I can't figure if that's the boat rocking because I don't take any drowsy medicine or
I just know the 2 times we've been
motion sickness.
Both times I've been like, I could go to sleep anytime. Like that sounds fine to me.
Yeah, it is a little.
But that is not how it is on normal vacations.
No. It's definitely a weird vibe, but it's not bad. And there's lots of cool things.
Yeah. The other problem is that we don't drink and we don't gamble much. I spent like $20. And so when you're at sea, that's like the 2 predominant things going on.
On the sea days when there's nothing much to do. But if the weather was good, I mean, the pool and all the bikes, and those things are super fun.
Yeah.
Like we did all of that.
I was too big to go on the sky bike.
Not in real life.
Well, in fake life.
So, but anyway.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. But we had a good time.
We had a good time. We made it and we surprised the kids.
We did.
That was the biggest thing.
So
they were truly shocked.
Yeah. So we're back. I'm still not 100% sure what our schedule is moving forward. My guess will be every other week.
Just with the life changes that we talked about.
Right.
In previous podcasts. It might be feasible to only be able to do every other week.
And if you get a random one that's every week, good for you.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I did find it interesting. We haven't posted in the last 2 weeks. The first week that we didn't post, we had just as many downloads that week as the week before, like a normal week. So it's like people went back and just listened to other ones, which I thought was cool. Last week we were down about 30%.
Oh, shoot.
And I assume, that was just fine, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was still surprised we had that many because there's nothing new coming out. But anyways, here we are. We're going to chat. I am working on a really, I think it's a really cool, fascinating story. But it's going to take a little bit. So I'll have it for next time for sure.
Okay.
I was not quite ready for it for today. So with that, we're going to talk about something else. Now, Ethne, I'm going to ask you, what do you think we're going to talk about? But I think you have already seen my script. So I think...
I just literally saw the first question, and I thought that was the questionnaire for the game, the Jeopardy game that you were going to play.
Oh.
So all I read was, what's your favorite food? That's the only thing I've seen.
Well, with that, what do you think we're talking about?
Foods?
We are talking about foods.
Yeah. So, but when you said, oh, don't read that, that's the script, I was like, oh, crap. Because I thought it was seriously the game the Jeopardy game thing.
Which makes sense.
So
Well, my fault. I shouldn't have left it in the kitchen island.
Yeah. So.
I got home from work and dropped a bunch of stuff.
Maybe it's like the most strange popular foods out there or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty close to a lot what we're going to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But before we get there, let's ask, what is your favorite food?
That's a hard question for me. I'm not a good, what is your favorite anything? Because I do like a lot of variety.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think I'm in the same boat. Like, I have a hard time.
Yeah.
I can tell you my 5 movies I really like. But one?
Right. But one. Yeah, there's, like when I think of your dad and his like bologna sandwich with an apple and a Twinkie every day. Oh, I would literally die.
Yeah. That's why I'm not like super ripped, because those guys have to eat like just chicken, rice, and broccoli all day, every day. And I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'd be like insanely shredded.
Of course you would.
Of course. That's the only thing in my life that keeps me from being that.
Okay. So, but I do love, oh gosh. I love sukiyaki.
Sukiyaki's great.
I love it.
You're going to have to explain what sukiyaki is for 99% of the people who have no idea what sukiyaki is.
Well, I bet you there's a lot of Japanese listeners.
No,
and people
0.
that know what sukiyaki is.
I bet you we have like 5 listeners who know what sukiyaki is.
Oh. So
If you know what sukiyaki is, text us and say, yes, I know what sukiyaki is.
okay,
But we're going to get 0 text messages about
so
that.
there's like this yummy broth that they put in
It's
like
Japanese.
this. Is it Japanese food? Yes. This
And it is my favorite Japanese food.
what's that thing that like a heated pan? What are those things called?
What are those called? My mom used to always make this kind of like
It's not like a wok, but it's like an
lame
electric. Anyway,
rice casserole in them.
this okay, so this broth, then there's just plates of vegetables and plates of meat, and you just
Raw meat.
yes, raw meat, raw vegetables. You put all the stuff in, it absorbs the broth and the flavor and cooks at the same time.
It's kind of like meat fondue,
Yeah, kind of.
but with no cheese, obviously.
Or oil. It's
like a
teriyaki-ish, but not at all teriyaki.
Right. It doesn't taste anything like teriyaki or soy
But
sauce, but it's that
sweetness
consistency.
and it's very runny. Yeah, like it's more like a broth, not
Yeah.
a sauce. Oh, and then you dip it on your rice, and then sometimes on your rice you have a raw egg, and it's
Yeah,
so good.
Well, I love it. So you have a bowl that you crack a raw egg into.
Yeah.
And then you take your hot meat with your chopstick straight from the sukiyaki sauce to the raw egg to the meat
rice.
or to the rice to your mouth.
Oh.
And it is really, really, really good.
And so many vegetables.
It's very expensive.
The meat's cut super thin and nice, so it's easy to eat. I mean, it's just so good.
It was very, very good. It's an experience too. It's like
Sure.
it's not one of those meals that you're gonna it's an experience.
Yeah,
It's
an
gonna take
experience.
you an hour and a half.
It's really fun. Anyway, that is
Sukiyaki is great.
but like
So is
every day.
Yoshinoya, which is like the opposite end of the spectrum of
It's like
Japanese
the
cuisine.
McDonald's of Japanese cuisine.
And not even like the top end McDonald's. It's like the I don't know what. I don't know. McDonald's doesn't have a top end, but
Yeah, does it have a top end? In Japan, they call McDonald's Makudo Naruto.
yeah. So like you won't know this. This won't mean anything to you. But like growing up in my family, we ate McDonald's like 2 times a day. So I'm very familiar with McDonald's.
I thought you were going to say 2 times a week.
No, like twice a day. But I haven't been to McDonald's in many. I don't know when the last time at McDonald's was. If Anthony and I are going to go to crappy, really cheap fast food, it's going to be Burger King.
Yeah, or Wendy's.
I haven't been to Wendy's in forever.
I just think Burger King has the best fast food burger.
I like their fries more.
And
I
their
like the
fries
Flame
are
Broiled
better.
Whopper.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have more playgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Whopper Jr., actually. The Flame Broiled Whopper is too big, but just a Whopper Jr. is fine.
I don't mind a Whopper. But so when you look at the meals across McDonald's, number 1 is a Big Mac. Number 2, generally speaking, is 2 cheeseburgers.
Is
And
this
then you have
one
a quarter pound of cheese and a
the
fish
most
fillet.
popular when you're saying
like
number
just a
1?
number. Like I want a number 1. I want a
I
number 2.
want a number 2.
But the number 2 cheeseburgers is like drastically way worse than all the others.
Why?
Because those cheeseburgers are such crappy little hamburgers.
Do you remember the time when McDonald's would do 25-cent hamburgers?
I think they were 29 cents, but yes, I do.
Oh.
Actually, so my good buddy Joe, his mom would buy them and freeze them. And then we would thaw them and eat them.
Were they good?
No. But I mean, you don't have a lot of, they don't start off good. So, it's not that big of a deal.
There's something, though, that makes them good when they're 25 cents. Like, it was so fun. I remember
They'd be like 29 cents and cheeseburger were 39 or something like that.
I remember my parents actually letting me do this because it was on sale.
Yeah,
and,
your dad definitely would not be
oh,
pro
yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, maybe he didn't even know. But, gee, I mean, we bought, I don't even know, 30, 40, I don't even remember.
Spent a whopping $10.
Yeah, it was like the most exciting day of my life. Just because I was so deprived of
So
McDonald's.
that was the opposite. When I grew up, it's like, whoa, your mom cooks food at the house? I've never seen our kitchen used, so.
I mean, your mom will admittedly say that cooking's not her bag. So
Yeah. But she loves her kitchen.
well, it's so
And
funny.
she just hangs out and watches TV in her kitchen by herself, but
She-
doesn't cook.
Okay.
She has the TV in the corner,
She does actually.
and she
That's
just
funny.
hangs out in there.
Cool, man.
My dad hangs out on the other side of the wall in the living room.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what my favorite food would be. I love cordon bleu.
Oh yeah, you do love chicken cordon bleu. I remember that time I never even knew what it was, and I tried to make it from
It
scratch.
was sweet. It was good.
But it was. Remember the ham was so big.
Yeah.
It's like I
The
basically.
ratios were all off.
Yeah, Like I was wrapping ham in chicken, basically.
Hey,
I had
it's all
no
good.
idea.
A lot of corn dogs I would prefer they had more ham.
More ham?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes it's like, oh, I got a bite of ham in the chicken breast.
Oh. Well, whatever I did from scratch, I had no visual like idea what I was doing. No.
Yeah. For some reason, when we lived in Canada as a kid, I think we were Schwann's people.
Oh.
And they would bring that.
The chicken cordon bleu? Oh.
So it was like double special. It's like, oh, the freezer truck guy brought this.
The Schwann's truck was always the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that an American thing too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember
Is that
we had
still a thing?
I haven't seen one in years. But in college, remember Steve?
Oh, yeah.
Cook? He drove for Schwann's.
He did.
Yeah. I think that's the last time I've heard of it. And that was like 17 years ago.
Wonder if it's still a thing.
Maybe down south. I don't know. It was in Texas for sure when I lived there.
Yeah, they had good food.
Yeah, they did seem to have pretty good food. Of course, any food that wasn't from McDonald's seemed pretty gourmet to me as a child.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so what's the strangest food you've ever eaten?
Basashi, probably.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know what that means, but I think I know what that means.
Okay, so living in Japan, obviously, you eat a lot of weird things. Lots of weird things that you're never know. And one of them obviously is sushi, but I think what people know of sushi here versus sushi there and sashimi specifically is literally just a plate of raw fish. Like
the only people I ever see here eating sashimi are like really buff chicks who need the protein, like bodybuilders.
It's really expensive. And the flavor texture is very unique.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it.
It's delicious, but at the same time, it's a very rich flavor to me, and I can't do a lot
weird
of
texture. It's almost like borderline. It's like meat, but it's almost like borderline gelatinous.
Yeah,
that's not at all gelatinous, but it's almost like
squishy.
Yeah,
like not that quite like
It's not like steak or chicken or
no, not at all, not even a little. So anyway, when you're eating all these different fishes and sushis and seafoods that you're unfamiliar with, you kind of just try it because you're willing, and people are serving you, and they're so nice. And so
you don't understand what's happening anyways,
right? I was eating something, and I think I asked Miyuki, just my friend, like, hey, what kind of fish is this? And she looks at me and she's like, oh, that's basashi. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that is. She's like, oh, it's raw horse. And I literally about died.
I mean, growing up with horses.
Yeah, I grew up with horses. We had horses in my parents' field in the backyard. And I've always loved horses, like a horse
They're
camp.
pretty majestic. And
my cousins down in Idaho have a farm that had many horses. And so definitely have a love for horses. It instantaneously, even though you could have told me it was some fish and I would have believed you and I would have kept eating it, I was done. Instantaneously kind of sick to my stomach. It looked exactly like raw fish. It had just like maguro, like the tuna.
Yep.
But yeah, it was raw horse and I ate it. So there you go. That was probably the weirdest thing.
Brutal.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah.
When I think about it, I kind of go,
I don't think I would enjoy raw horse. But you never know.
Again, if someone wouldn't have told me it wasn't, I would have been fine because I would have just thought it was a raw fish and it would have been neither here nor there. So obviously your brain, the psychological component to food is very real.
Yeah. Along with that, like I'm a big texture guy. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes texture is really, really good and sometimes texture is really, really bad, you know?
Yeah, that's how one of our kids is too.
Yeah. I don't know what the weirdest thing I've ever eaten is.
Yeah, what do you think?
So I've lived in Belize and Honduras and spent time in the Dominican Republic and Guatemala and Canada.
Yeah, that's a weird place.
Yeah.
There's something you guys used to eat out east that I'd never heard of, but it was like
ice cream on waffles?
Yeah, ice cream on waffles with syrup.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we ate that in Canada.
What's that called?
I don't know. Waffles with ice cream.
I thought it had a name or something.
I don't know.
I've never heard of it, though.
We used to eat it in Ottawa. And then, yeah, you'd never heard of it. But last time we were in Niagara Falls, there were like signs for it at the restaurants.
Well, but sure, out east is different than where I'm from. So it must be an
actual, like, we never know if it's just like, oh, the people across the street from us ate it. That's why we ate it. And I didn't, as a kid, don't remember. But no, it's an actual thing. So,
probably your tamales that have all the Or like the mondongo or
Mondongo's not bad. So that's tripe, stomach. Yeah, it's okay. It has like no flavor. It just is so chewy. Like you chew it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And then finally you're like, I'm sick of chewing this. I'm just gonna swallow it because nothing's happened.
Gross.
I have had lots of chicken feet and chicken spine tamales in Honduras. That's a thing. And you're supposed to eat around those and just like pick off of them, but I didn't know that, and I just bit through them. So that wasn't great. I've had armadillo in
Texas?
in Belize.
Oh.
And it had a very like black licoricey flavor, but I don't know if it actually was cooked like with star anise or something, and that's why.
Interesting.
Or if the actual meat's kind of licoricey. My least favorite food of all time is real chicharrones.
Oh yeah. Ugh. Like pig fat skin,
Just
whatever.
pig skin that's fried.
That has like sometimes hairs.
Oh, totally. Well, I don't know about in Mexico and Southwest United States. In Honduras, yeah, it was literally like, oh, we just slaughtered that pig, and there's still like hair sticking out of one side and all this gelatinous fat on the other side, and
literally like disgusting.
I just couldn't do it. Not my thing.
Yeah, but that is weird, kind of. But maybe it's not that weird to a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sure it's delicious to a lot of people.
Yeah,
but for me, I was more than happy to eat anything in Honduras. Like I wouldn't say no to anything. Like if someone was offering me it, but I got to the point with chicharrones where it's just like, it's okay. I'll go buy some eggnog and Doritos. That's a common thing in Honduras.
Eggnog and Doritos.
They certainly, you can buy eggnog year round in little pints.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
What do they do with it? Just drink it?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like their lemonade or something?
You can buy vanilla milk, chocolate milk, strawberry milk, or an eggnog.
Huh.
I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, well, today we're going to talk about, I have a list of the 10 strangest foods from around the world.
Oh. So I was kind of
You and I have eaten none of them. Well, actually, you might have had number 9.
Okay.
And maybe actually number 7.
Oh.
I have definitely never had all of them.
Okay. Well, let's find out.
But we're going to talk about them. We're going to see if we want to try them.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Number 10. We're going in reverse order.
Okay.
From Ethne wouldn't mind eating this to she absolutely doesn't want to eat this.
Oh, well, you're just assuming because you never asked me.
I know. I don't think you're going to want to eat any of them.
Oh, okay. Probably not.
I don't. So number 10, Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh, I know what those are.
So go ahead and inform the audience.
Those are testicles of a bull.
Yes. Usually deep fried.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I definitely know many people who have eaten them. I come from Alberta.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of farmers and a bunch of...
I've seen them eaten on TV, and it looked real not awesome.
But I have never had them myself.
Never had them?
No.
So I had a buddy in Belize that wanted to make me them so bad. But I ended up moving before, because there's only a certain season where they got the balls.
You're like, oh, shucks.
Dang, I missed out. But he's also going to make me iguana, and I never got that either, which I actually am sad about. Because I would have liked to eat the...
You would have liked to eat the poor little iguana?
They're huge iguana, and they're everywhere.
Yeah. It's kind of like a pest.
Yeah.
Like a squirrel.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
There's
so weird.
No hard feelings for eating the iguana.
Okay.
They say it tastes like chicken.
Yeah, well, it probably does.
Yeah. So, would you eat a Rocky Mountain oyster?
Gosh, not really. Not like I'm curious. And if there was some sort of reward,
Yeah.
potentially.
So how much money would I have to give you to eat one?
I'd kind of want to see it. I kind of want to smell it. I kind of want
I
to
have no interest in smelling them, but I see where you're going
evaluate, like, how much that would be worth to
from.
me.
I assume it's about like a racquetball size.
Can't you cut it up?
No, you just got to pick it up and take a bite out of it like an apple.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. Well, in my hypothetical here.
No, I don't think you do.
I wouldn't want to cut it up either.
Ew. The whole
It
thing
just
is...
hurt to like...
Ugh. I mean, I don't know. I really can't answer how much. I think it would have to be significant, but I would definitely cheer on real loud for someone that wanted to.
We have good friends, and every year Taylor makes his family he likes to go to the local meat market.
The weirdest.
And yeah, so he should totally make Rocky Mountain oysters for, what does he do it for Thanksgiving? No, I think it's not Thanksgiving.
I think he did it for Easter. Didn't he do like a rabbit because it was Easter time?
And we did a rabbit last year.
And then the year before that was like frog legs.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's Easter time.
I feel like 2025 is bull balls.
Oh, you have to say the right name.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain oysters just sounds so
Taylor,
much better.
do it. But don't bring them to my house. Except
I actually
you can.
do want to see them.
Send Anthony a picture.
Maybe smell them.
All right. That's number 10.
Okay.
So I want you to tell me if one of these you would put above that.
Okay.
Okay. Number 9. This is one I think maybe you've had. Tuna eyeballs. It's from Japan.
I would guess that I had. I feel like I've eaten a lot of fish eyeballs just because I had Korean neighbors and then I lived in Japan. And even I did not eat the eyeball, but when I did my service mission in Guatemala, they served like the whole fish, eyeball and all. And there were people that did eat the eyeball.
Yeah, everyone that lives there.
Well, but I mean, I'm eating with our service team.
Right.
Like everyone that's, like on the service mission.
Mm-hmm. So I actually didn't, growing up, I did not like seafood.
I would guess I have, but honestly, I wouldn't know for sure. Tuna eyeball?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew for sure, but I've definitely eaten eyeball.
So it is the actual eyeball of a tuna, served either boiled or steamed. And why it's interesting is because it has a very jelly-like texture, but also a tough meat deer texture.
I don't
so it's
think
like
I
a
actually
jelly-filled meat
No,
blob.
I don't think that they're usually tinier fish eyeballs that I've had. I don't think that doesn't sound
I don't know what size.
familiar.
What do you think of tuna?
Tunas are pretty
Tunas are
big.
big fish.
Yeah, tunas. I would
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like a gumball.
maybe a little bit bigger than a gumball. Maybe even bigger, actually.
Doesn't sound at all. So I've dissected a million eyeballs. And they're pretty gross. And with the optic nerve sticking out the back, like they're...
Yeah. I think I would remember if I ate a tuna eyeball, because now that I think about it, it'd be much bigger than the ones I have eaten.
Gotcha.
So,
Well,
gross.
let's say that they're pretty cheap.
Really?
Yeah. So they're often found in grocery stores for as little as like $1.
Yeah, but it's probably because people don't really like them. It's kind of like chicken hearts, livers, and gizzards,
true.
right? Like I can buy them for...
We buy them for our dog, and they're very cheap.
Very cheap, and she loves them. We cook them up and kind of mix it with her dog food, and it
She
makes her a
doesn't
little more
like
excited.
the gallbladder.
The gizzard.
Gizzard, thank you.
She doesn't like it near as much as the hearts and the livers, in case anyone
She's
cares.
kind of snooty.
She just is. I mean, it is what it is, right? If you don't like the gizzards, you don't like the gizzards.
I don't like the gizzards.
Yeah, I don't even like looking at them before I cook them. So
Yeah. Okay. So what would you put? Would you rather have a Rocky Mountain oyster or tuna eyeball?
tuna eyeball,
So would I, because it's like I think a one bite
a one biter.
versus like a 5 or 6 biter.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Number 8. Escamoles.
Sounds like Spanish.
Yep. It's
Okay.
from Mexico.
Escamoles.
So it's edible ant larvae
Ugh.
harvested from the roots of the agave plant.
Mm.
The agave plant's very important
Sweet. Yeah.
because that's where you distill tequila from.
Mm. Also, isn't that a form of sweetener?
It's agave.
That's what I thought.
Oh, I did say agave. What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Is agave where tequila comes from?
I thought. I don't know. I don't drink enough to know.
Well, now I'm confused myself. Either way, it's from the agave plant. You're right. There is agave.
Like sweetener, right?
Mhm.
Or
It's like
whatever.
honey.
Like
Yeah.
honey or syrup
Yep,
kind of ish.
Yep, you're very right.
So then would the larva be sweet if they're eating off the agave plant?
I don't believe so.
No?
It's often called insect caviar and actually has a nutty, buttery flavor.
So that's what the first thing came to my mind was caviar. Just like the visual and the texture,
Mm-hmm.
which it's not my favorite.
I would think ant larva would be very small,
Mm-hmm.
which would help me eat it.
Which in some ways it would make me think of almost like not salmon roe, but fish eggs too. Like the little fish eggs, the orange ones that come on your sushi.
Which I don't mind at all.
Yeah, those are fine. So
You also have in Japan like full on like you can buy sacks of like little 1-inch fish, like dried fish,
yeah,
and you just eat them like
the whole brain, eyeballs,
tons at a time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't do that around here.
Well, we don't live on a tiny little place surrounded by land, like ocean. We live on a very big continent with lots of options.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7. Of all of these, I so far going for the peanut butter larva.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7. And I'm also gonna like brutally destroy some of these pronunciations.
Yes, of course you are.
So
that's the whole point.
yeah, this is Korean, South Korean. Sanakji. I don't know where the accent is on this word.
Yeah, I mean, I know a little bit of Korean, but that's it.
So I've seen this done on TV. I thought it was Japan. So pardon my cultural ignorance. But this is live octopus.
Oh, a living octopus.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely had octopus. Lots of octopus.
Yes. It's served raw. Sometimes they chop it into pieces, but it's still wiggling.
Delicious.
So the suction cups will try to hook themselves to your throat as you swallow.
Sounds like an adventure.
It is a little bit of an adventure. It's kind of like delicacy and a challenge.
So how do you unsuction cup a suction cup in your? Are you able to eventually just die and fall off your esophagus, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a race to the clock. Like, will their nerve tissue die before your brain dies?
Yeah, before you die. Oh, well, I don't want to try that one. No, but
Octopus is very good though. So in Japan,
it's chewy.
Yeah,
but it's not bad.
No, not at all. And it well, when it's cooked, it ends up kind of fibrous and white and purple.
Yeah,
at least the kind that you. And it's funny because the word is what in Japanese for octopus? Taco. So you have taco salads, but they're not at all what you think.
But this taco is spelled different.
It is spelled different.
It's spelled T-A-K-O.
But if someone's like, "You want a taco salad?" and you say yes, you're not going to get seasoned meat and
like a
guacamole.
No. You're definitely not.
You're going to get chopped up octopus
on lettuce or spinach or something. Yeah. Yeah, it's good, but it's not my favorite due to the texture, the chewiness, texture. The rubberiness.
But I definitely didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
But I would not want to eat a raw octopus arm that had just been severed.
Well, so I actually wouldn't have a problem if it didn't have the suction cups on it. I don't think. Because I've just had a lot of raw food because of Japan.
Would you chew it?
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Just straight up swallow it.
See, that doesn't sound very fun. I mean, chewing doesn't either.
But I would, out of these, like, I would be willing to give that a whirl, potentially.
Okay. I feel, so we're going on number 6 now. I feel we definitely are upping our game. There's a distinct difference between 7 and 6.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Here we go.
6 is from Sweden.
Okay.
Surströmming. I'm not sure that's nowhere near.
Well, and it doesn't mean anything to me even if you said it right.
I'm not sure. I do not believe you can buy this at IKEA.
Well, maybe, and we've just never looked.
I do like the $1 breakfasts.
Oh, I love everything about it.
The Swedish meatballs.
Yeah.
But I don't believe they have this at the cafeteria.
What is this?
So it is fermented herring.
Yeah. Fermented even.
Yes.
I mean, like we need to make that more funky.
Yeah. It's known for its overpowering pungent odor.
Shocking.
Yes.
That is shocking. I mean, pickled herring I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good. I mean, it's not my... Fermented? I can't even... Like, my mind... Okay, so in Japan, again, another thing called natto.
Mm-hmm.
Fermented baby soybeans. It's kind of got this weird...
Very sticky.
And very
stringy.
stinky.
Looks like brown boogers.
Yeah, but when... And it's, like, so disgusting at first. But then when you actually... do what they do and mix it with the egg and the whatever, the rice, whatever. I mean, Papa loves it. Very good source of
stink.
Lots of good things for your body and protein. You would think it's the most disgusting thing ever. And when you actually try it, it's not that bad. So I know what pickled herring was like. Fermented, my mind is blown. But it would, to me, be so disgusting.
I doubt I could even be in the same room.
And so stinky. Yeah.
Like, it's funny. Tastes are one thing, but definitely not the worst. Texture takes it to another level. Smell, I'm out
of here.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, natto stinks too.
Mm-hmm.
It stinks, but it doesn't really taste that bad. That's what's so weird about it.
It is weird.
And so I honestly don't want to judge it because maybe it's not so bad.
No, I'm sure it's terrible.
Well, you just said it has a really pungent odor,
Yeah.
right?
So most of the time, the smell is so intense that it has to be eaten outside.
Oh. What is the benefit? Do you happen to have like why people want to be eating this?
I'm guessing historically they had nothing else to eat.
Maybe. I don't
So
know.
now it has cultural significance.
Interesting.
Kind of like, I don't have this written down. I didn't study it all. I'm just coming off the top of my brain here. Gefilte fish? Or
yeah.
where they bury it for so long and then dig it back up. Like, I'm sure that has ancient,
Right.
survival things. And now it's like a cultural significance to their people.
Like
I don't know who these people
paying
are.
homage to their.
I don't remember if this is Swedish or Finnish or
Yeah.
Dutch or
I do know
Norwegian.
vaguely what you're talking about, though. Yeah, it sounds like I wouldn't want to try it at all or do anything.
I'm predominantly Swedish, DNA speaking, and I don't think my taste buds are
Equipped.
Swedish.
Well, just because like some of your genetics are.
I think they're Mexican,
Yeah, maybe.
even though I have zero Mexican.
Yeah, your
I
taste.
think my taste buds are adopted.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of taste bud adopting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's way down on like the least of all these.
Okay. So it's getting worse, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely would eat any of the other things first over that.
That does sound like I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. They normally serve it with potatoes, onions, and flatbread. Seems wonderful. It's like a nice outside stew. Only not a stew.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Okay. Number 5.
Okay.
Going to Cambodia.
Okay. I don't know much about Cambodia.
Me either.
Okay.
Fried tarantulas.
Deep fried or just pan fried?
I'm not sure. I think pan fried.
Pan fried tarantulas.
Yeah.
You know,
Seasoned with salt and garlic.
do you dehairify them?
So I don't know.
Does the
In
hair
Cambodia.
singe off when you're cooking them?
I don't think so. I watched a video of these families in Africa that go tarantula hunting, and then they like catch 5 or 6 of them, and then they'll cook them all, and then they just like eat them like fried chicken, like just. And I'm like, that does not look great, but I'm extremely spoiled, American. They can eat whatever from the grocery store, so I won't.
I almost wonder if it actually doesn't taste that bad.
The texture again, man. Spider legs look gross. Little hairs on them.
Yeah, but maybe it's kind of like there's some crunch and it's yummy.
Maybe. But in Cambodia, they do, like I said, cook them with garlic and salt. So, I mean, maybe it's delicious. It is said.
The question is there butter? Garlic, salt, and butter at least?
If anything would be better than butter. I don't know. It says they have crunchy legs and chewy bodies. Yum.
Yum.
Yum. So, yeah.
Yeah.
They must have a lot of tarantulas in Cambodia.
Yeah.
If it could be a
And-
dietary staple.
Yeah. The things I think about are weird. Like, when you cook a chicken, you don't eat the whole chicken. Like, you take out its gizzard and it's these parts, and obviously there's bones. So,
Insects don't seem to be the same.
yeah, insects don't seem to be the same.
You just eat it all.
Yeah, and certain sizes of fish don't seem to be the same either. If it's tiny enough, you can just, I mean, literally, you're eating everything.
Right.
I mean, including like
Intestines and
yes,
poop and
yes, that's what I'm going with.
waste
So-
products.
So this is what is curious to me. I mean, how do you decide?
Well, maybe like you can you can eat the top 2/3 body segments, but you got to toss the bum part out, or who knows?
Good point. You're just cooking the whole thing up, and then you just know what you're not supposed to eat.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
No, this
hypothesis.
is hypothesis, right? Yeah, it's interesting to think
Maybe I'll
about.
look that up later.
Okay.
How does one eat a whole tarantula
In Cambodia.
in Cambodia?
So things we do here, and this is very basic, but like a kiwi, most people remove the brown kind of fuzzy-ish outside, right?
Yeah, everyone but you.
Well, no, not me. That's not true. Because my grandparents were the ones who they lived in certain parts in Australia,
Aboriginal Australia.
yeah, Aboriginal Australia, that literally to them, you would never peel it. You just don't, you kind of don't eat the little nubbies on either side, and that's it. Like when you eat an apple, you eat the whole thing and then you just throw away the core. Essentially, you would treat it the same way. You're just kind of eating it, the whole thing, and then you just throw away the little nubbies on either end. You would never contemplate
chopping off all that.
Yes.
Yeah, I've eaten them many ways that way with you, and they're fine.
It was just a cool thing to learn, like, from her. So how many things do we do?
That are super strange to others? I'm sure lots, yeah.
Right?
We just don't even know what they are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Good point. All right. Number 4.
Dun, da, da, da.
Century egg.
Century egg. Is that some kind of bird? Century? How are you
Century,
spelling it?
like 100 years.
Century
A
egg.
century egg. From China.
Maybe is it kind of like an ostrich?
So it is a preserved duck, chicken, or quail egg that's aged in a mixture of clay, ash, and salt, and then it's left for a few months to kind of do its thing. Whatever. I don't know if it's fermenting or what's happening exactly. But the egg turns black with kind of a gelatinous texture and a really strong ammonia flavor. I don't know who decides to eat this the first time and thinks this is a good idea.
Can you just rewind a little? I'm trying to follow all the things. So is this egg cracked?
I don't think so.
Okay, so
I think you take a normal egg.
you take an egg that has a shell on it.
Yep. So you go out to your chicken, you take the egg,
Yeah.
and then you have this mixture of ash, clay, and salt.
And you roll the whole egg in this mixture. And then you let it sit where?
I don't know if you bury it in this mixture,
Okay.
if you cover it in a coating of this mixture and leave it out in the sun or in a cellar in the damp humidity. I don't know.
Okay.
But you leave it under the right conditions. And
For how long-ish did it say?
Well, so it's called a century egg. Misnomer. Really only takes a few months.
Oh.
And in that magical time, your delicious egg will turn into a black gelatinous that tastes like egg that tastes like ammonia. And this is way better now.
It doesn't sound good at all.
No, it doesn't.
So in what way is that better? I don't know. But is there some sort of, who would have like tried this in the first place? And how would you know that that egg wouldn't kill you from some sort of,
Well, you would think the strong ammonia flavor would
say,
don't
bad.
eat me.
Yeah, I am bad.
But someone did it and was like, this is the best thing I've ever had. But I don't think it'd be enjoyable in the time.
I'm so curious. I wish I knew someone who had been a part or experienced that, you know? So,
Yeah, if you ever had a century egg, let us know.
yeah,
I'd be curious. I'll read your response on air next time.
me too.
We'll both read it and everyone will hear it twice.
No, I mean, me too. I want you to reach out to us.
Oh, yeah.
Not like I'll read it too. Sorry, my answer was delayed. I was just thinking it'd be cool if someone actually
It would be.
could tell us more details.
All right, you ready for number 3?
Yep.
Carl.
One more time.
Carl.
What language are we trying?
That's from Iceland.
Oh,
That's Icelandic.
I don't know anything about
That
Icelandia.
was perfect pronunciation.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, what are you saying in English translation?
Carl.
You just said the same thing.
Yeah. It's essentially it's pronounced the same.
Okay, well, what is it actually that it is? What is it?
Fermented, again, Greenland shark meat
Okay.
in Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
So you eat your Greenlandish shark
In Iceland.
in Iceland,
Interesting.
and then you age it for months to remove all its natural shark toxins.
Are there shark toxins?
Apparently,
Huh.
the smell, much like our Chinese egg, is intensely ammonia-like,
Why do people want to be eating this then?
often compared to cleaning products.
So why are people eating this?
This is a fabulous question.
Okay, so if they smell like that, do they taste like that?
I can't imagine it not.
But that's what I'm saying is natto is disgustingly smelling, but
Yeah.
it doesn't taste like it smells. So I'm so curious. Does it just smell like that, but it tastes
Like strawberries?
not strawberries?
Probably not.
Not strawberries,
But
but
I know what you're saying.
normal-ish?
Normal-ish. Yeah. I mean, the other one, well, I don't know about a quail egg or the century egg. The one before that from Sweden had to be eaten outside.
They're so
It
stinky.
was so stinky. Which doesn't bode well for tasting good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would agree with you there. Anyway,
If
okay.
your egg turns black, doesn't seem to bode well either with good flavor. This one's traditionally served in small cubes, and you take it with shots of Brennivin, which is Iceland's signature schnapps.
Mm.
So if you have to take alcohol shots to get down the meat, again, I'm not sure how great it is.
Good point. I see what you're saying.
But never had it.
Yeah, me either.
So that's number 3.
Okay.
You ready for number 2?
Sure, yeah.
Kasu marzu.
Kasu mazu. Is that Japanese?
That's from Italy.
How are you spelling it? Oh, kasu. There's a C. Marzu with an R on.
Mhm.
Okay.
So this is from Sardinia in Italy.
Okay.
It is a cheese
Stinky cheese.
deliberately infested with live maggots
And you eat the maggots?
to enhance the fermentation process.
But do you eat the maggot?
So you
Ugh.
don't eat the maggots, but they are still alive when it is served to you.
Oh my.
And you must dodge them as they jump out of your cheese and squirm around your plate.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
So disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that one time we were eating pomegranates and that little like worm picked his head up out of the middle of my pomegranate.
You were
looked
like,
around.
and you were like, I'm done.
Yeah.
He was kind of cute.
He was kind of cute. He wasn't a
Maggots
maggot.
are
He was like
so
he was
gross.
like Richard Scary's worm.
Yeah, he was cute.
He
I
just,
mean,
like,
as cute
popped
as
his head up
a
like,
worm.
oh, what's happening?
You're like, you're eating my house, buddy.
Yeah.
Could you please stop?
I stopped.
Yeah.
And just put it all in the garbage.
Yeah, you did. Never had that happen before ever.
No.
I mean, we've never had that weird bad of a pomegranate. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Anyway,
So this is cheese with live maggots.
yeah, I wouldn't even want to look at it. I cannot imagine trying to be eating that. So that's just it. Heck no.
Is that the winner so far
For me.
for you?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fascinating, these things that are like culturally significant in certain areas.
Right.
So according to my source here, this cheese is banned many places worldwide because it poses health risks.
Mm-hmm.
But it is extremely popular and sought after in Sardinia.
Weird.
Yeah,
They must know how to do it.
seems weird.
That is weird. They must know how to do it
They
safely.
must. Sounds really gross.
Oh, sounds so gross.
Are you ready for number 1?
I'm ready. I'm
Do
ready.
you think
Am I
it'll
ever
be
gonna
worse than number 2?
Yes.
I think I would rather have the maggot cheese
Okay. Oh, my.
because of texture.
Okay.
We're going to the Philippines.
Okay.
Balut.
Balut.
Balut. Balut.
Balut.
I don't speak Tagalog, so I don't know how this is pronounced.
Baloo. Like the bear.
Yes,
From the
but not
Jungle
at all.
Book.
Balut with a Tagalog pronunciation.
I have no idea.
Me either.
Yeah. No clue.
So this is a fertilized duck egg.
So that like the baby started to grow
The baby has started to grow
in the duck.
in the egg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's partially developed. So there's a partially developed embryo.
Mm-hmm.
And then they boil it and it's eaten directly from the shell. So it's a combination of textures. You have a hard-boiled yolk with crunchy bones and a soft duckling inside of an egg. Says Ethne. Your face tells it much better than your does.
Like
See,
sick.
it's all about texture.
Nah, the whole thing. It's sick.
I wonder at what point they pull the egg
Oh.
and say, now it's time.
Again, you're like, how did this come to be?
Right.
That is what goes to my mind. Who is wanting to be, unless you're, I think many of these situations, I'm like, what a sad situation where this person, whoever tried it first, was willing to, they were so hungry, eat anything because they're so hungry at the risk of potentially getting sick or literally vomiting or the smell. They were like, I don't care. I'm so hungry.
Yeah. This one's intriguing to me, or ones like this, because if it was something like that, how would it ever gain notoriety?
Yeah.
It's almost like the opposite, where everyone in my country is dying of starvation. Look at me. Like I'm so wealthy that I can take an egg and afford to let it partially grow.
Interesting.
And then cook it to this fine delicacy that none of you can ever have. Yummy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I
don't know either.
I mean, the etiology is not the right word, but the how it came to be would be just as fascinating as in and of itself.
God, the epistemology. But is epistemology only for words?
I don't know. I say I'm not good at all those ologies.
Me either.
So, but anyway, I would be so intrigued by how they came to be, let alone just the fact that they are a thing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they're disgusting, but why is this even a thing is so curious.
Curious.
I would not want to try that at all. But actually, I think, I don't know. I think I would rather do that than the maggots.
See, if I had to eat the maggots in the cheese, I wouldn't want them. But if they're hopping out of my cheese before I eat it, meh, I'll deal with it, I guess. Overeating, my problem would be
the crunchy
bones.
Yeah.
And like gooey,
all of
like
that.
all the textures, which is funny because I can't eat plain ice cream. It has to have something in it.
Right, the texture.
Like I'm a texture guy. I like crunchy peanut butter. But at the same time, textures can be the most off-putting thing ever.
Right.
Like when you have partially formed embryos and bones in your egg.
I mean, rightfully so. Or when you have vertebrae in your tamale.
I don't want crunchy egg.
But do you want crunchy tamale?
No. Generally speaking, that has not been a good experience for me. If you put like Cheetos in your tamale, maybe.
Like that kind of crunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be different than like a vertebrae.
Like a flaming hot Cheeto tamale would be pretty cool.
I see. Yeah. Depends on the
But the spinal cord definitely
deters.
Was never great.
Yeah.
Shockingly, there's not much meat to pull off of a spinal cord.
Yeah, it's more of the flavor that got boiled in with the...
Yeah, that's probably true.
The masa or whatever it is that makes the tamale.
You can pick some stuff off the chicken foot. But watch out for the little nails.
Actually, with one of our chickens, her feet were kind of to the side. And it's like their natural scratching would be short, keep them short. But this girl's feet were all sideways, kind of ish. And so they just kept growing and they were like curling around. She couldn't even walk. So I had to literally get my dog clippers and clip them. And, not so little. You could have had a big, long, curly nail in your
Definitely would not
tamale.
have enhanced the tamale.
A lot of protein
Toenails
and keratin.
do not make it better.
You just never know.
No, I'm pretty sure I know. Pretty sure.
I would say that I would never want a chicken foot in any of my food.
Yeah, well, I had lots of soups. And tamales.
It's almost like they forgot to strain it. Like they're making a broth and they forgot to strain it.
I don't know.
Because you're like, wait, do you really eat this or did you forget to just take this part out?
But again, down there, I mean, different world, right?
Oh, for sure. They're going to want to eat as much
the kids would fight over bones and they would suck on them until they were soft enough they could break them open and suck the marrow out.
Yeah, it is different.
So,
yeah,
that's a wrap.
So, if anyone knows anything about these foods or has tried them, I mean, you want to reach out to us. I mean, do it.
Yeah, I would like to know.
Yeah.
They said I'll read it on air, and maybe I think we'll read it too, and you'll be on twice. So
I'll probably just listen.
Maybe. So, anyways, it's good to be back, everybody. Hope you're having a good 2025. And we're going to take off for now, but we'll be back in 2 weeks with a pretty fascinating story.
Okay, I'm so interested.
All right. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.